this is a DIY that I just kind of pulled out of thin air, and it looks really cute. I made it for my cats, and I know if I can do it, you can do it too. So let's jump into exactly what I did. I found this old table, okay? It was an old table I had laying around. I didn't know what I was going to do with it. So I decided I'm going to turn it into an actual cat tree. So the first thing I did was painted it brown, and then I just put twine right here for the cat scratcher so they could be on all of the legs. I don't have them on the back legs back there. You can see there's none back there. I just did it on the front. I also created these panels, which you just saw me rip off. Literally all of these panels will come off of the bottom part of this tree. So you can give them privacy, plus I can wash these if they get dirty. So they come on, they come off. It's also a lot easier to get my cats if they're hiding. And then I really wanted this to look like a cartoon, like a Disney type animation tree. But I'm not an artist. I'm just have ADD and audacity. So I created these little line marks on the wood here to try to make it look like wood. I did that with a paint pen, and then I sealed it with a clear coat. And I did that for the table. The first thing that I created was the table, and then I decided I wanted it to have different layers. So I went to Home Depot and got some wood, and I already had a drill, so that wasn't something that I had to buy. And the great thing about Home Depot is they will cut the wood for you. Sometimes they do a better job than others. I'll link in the description to a lot of the tools and stuff that I use on my DIY projects. They're super simple and easy to use. Trust me, if I can use it, you can use it too. And then I went to the fabric store and I bought some fur fabric. I really wanted to cover this with carpet, but I couldn't figure out how to buy a little piece of carpet. But I could figure out how to buy pieces of fake fur. So that is what I went with. And then obviously for these panels, I used cloth. I also used cloth on the big part back of the tree. Now I sewed this with a sewing machine. I sewed these panels. I sewed the Velcro. If you can't sew, there is something called liquid stitch that holds fabric together. It's like a fabric glue, and you can use that if you don't have a sewing machine or you don't know how to sew. You don't have to make this more complicated than it is. I just sewed it because it was easier for me. So we went to Home Depot. We got this wood, that wood, and then the piece up top. This part is cushioned. I bought a cushion from a local fabric store that you use for, like, I think it's like quilt filling or something like that. And that is underneath here. Then we took a staple gun and stapled this underneath it and to the side of this particular piece of wood. We then drilled holes in this table, and from underneath put in screws that held this in place. So this is basically just like making a bench. That's all I did. I made a bench and I stuck it on top of a table. Okay. On this back part, these are just regular plain 2x4s. We put them on the back so it could hold this platform at the top. And then I covered them in scratching post material too. I like to give my cats a ton of stuff to be able to scratch on. That way, hopefully they don't scratch my furniture, although that doesn't always work. After I created this top platform, same way, just screws, nails, paint, drew the lines on it, stapled down some fur.
I moved on to
the top up here. And again, I really wanted to make this look like a tree. So I cut pool noodles in small sizes. I tried to do it one way, I think, and it just did not work out. I think I finally, and I don't recommend this, so warning here, but I think I finally ended up cutting them with a kitchen knife because for some reason I couldn't get the box cutter to work for me. I think it wasn't long enough to go through the pool noodle, but a regular steak knife worked great. And so I cut those, and then I took these leaves, which I had disassembled off of branches. And again, I'll link all this in the description. Disassembled them off the branches, and then I glued them onto the pool noodles, which I had put on poster board. After I did that, I just kind of glued like the actual leaves on there. And then I went back and strategically stuck out pieces so that it would give it a little bit of dimension. And then I found these really cute lanterns at the Dollar Tree. I don't know if they still have them, but they were fantastic. And I was like, I gotta put it in the tree. And then I had to figure out a way to light them. So I got some regular Christmas lights, hooked those up, figured out a way to put in a plug so that I could hook them up, and ran that all the way down in behind this panel. So this panel is actually covering the drop cord. And then at the top, I had extra pieces of this wood. Again, this is fabric I wanted to be able to take off and wash or brush off if it's covered in cat hair. So I just used a piece of wood that I had left over. I painted it like the top of a tree branch. And then I actually used Velcro, and this is stuck up under Velcro, so I can actually pull it off and wash it as well. I think it's adorable. It really was exactly what I wanted. I have seen elaborate cat trees all over the internet for thousands of dollars, and I wish I had thousands of dollars to buy them, but I don't. I hope me sharing this with you inspires you guys to design some cat trees of your own.